friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I want to talk about this rumored JJ Abrams cut. Now, the rumor is that JJ Abrams has a 4-hour cut of The Rise of Skywalker, and it's in the plans, potentially, to be leaked or rumored or whatever. I don't know, but here's the problem with a 4-hour Rise of Skywalker. The problem is it doesn't fix the sequel trilogy. Now, I will say that there are aspects of the sequel trilogy that I absolutely loved. In my mind, Episode 7 was a great reboot while still missing some very key elements, right? It was a great start of something. It did a lot of fan service, it was fun, it was enjoyable. But now that I've lost half of my audience, for the rest of us, I just want to kind of go over this. Episode 8 is not actually Episode 8. Episode 8 is part of that 4-hour The Force Awakens extended cut. That's the same movie. Episode 7, when it ends, it's like this is the intermission. This is when you as an audience member go to the lobby, you finally go to the bathroom, you get your Junior Mints and you get your Jujubes and you get whatever it is that you're eating, you get more popcorn, more soda, obviously, so you're going to spend another $30 getting candy from concessions. And then you come back for the second half of The Force Awakens, aka Episode 8. That's the way that I view it. Because in my mind, it is just a bigger part of the same movie. And the problem we see here is that it doesn't build upon itself. There's definitely elements of the story that are missing between Episode 7 and Episode 8. But a lot of it could be explained, a lot of it could be tweaked and adjusted, and made whole without much effort. The real problem comes between Episode 7.5, which is aka Episode 8, and Episode 9. And what we need to see is what happens in the 3 years between Crate and Rey getting to go to Exegol, right? Like, what happens in that time period? And there's so much that needs to be explored. The books don't cover it right now. There's the Resistance cartoon was canceled before it got into anything worthwhile. I mean, it was a fun cartoon. It wasn't great. It was fun. It was fun. But that's about it, right? It didn't have a lot of weight to it, right? People were expecting Star Wars Rebels. People were expecting Star Wars The Clone Wars. And now looking back, they'll probably say, well, what happened? How is The Bad Batch amazing? Because it will be. And how was Resistance the Resistance? And again, the idea is they didn't know where they were going. They didn't fill in those gaps. And they need to. This is what needs to happen with this 4-hour cut. Now, the idea of the 4-hour cut, I think, is absolutely on target. It needs to be a 4-hour cut. However, it probably needs to be more than a 4-hour cut. What we need to see is what I heard as a rumor about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the rumor was Episode 7, Episode 8, and Episode 9 were coming to Disney Plus in the form of a serial, right? A mini-series of sorts. And what they would do is they would give like an hour or 45 minutes to one section of Episode 7, and then they'd move on to the next section and so on and so forth. And essentially they would give a 4-hour cut for each individual film. But they would do it in the form of a season. Now, I honestly think that this is just someone's wildest, just lucid dream. But I think it's a good idea. Personally, I'm not the kind of guy that just wants to see something done away with. I was devastated, and legit devastated, when Star Wars Legends, or Star Wars Canon, was just thrown out the window alright, it's Legends now. That bothered me. Some of the stories I can kind of see, but I was upset by it. And I know a lot of fans were. Now, there has been some great canon that has come in the new canon under the new regime. And by regime, I'm only referring to Disney. Just Disney. Okay? Since Disney made the purchase, some new canon has been really good. Star Wars Rebels was canon under Disney. Season 7 was canon of the Clone Wars was canon under Disney. And with the exception of 3 episodes of 9, it was amazing. Right? Even those 3 episodes, they were fun. They weren't great, but they were fun. Right? But there's a lot of stuff that has still been done well. Really well. Now, there has been some stinkers. I'm not going to lie. Resistance is among them. I think there was a Luke Skywalker book that was surprisingly frustrating for me. I have to go back and reread it because it was surprisingly frustrating, and I'm curious if I was just not in the right frame of mind, but it really bothered me. But here's what they need to do for episodes 7, 8, and 9. They need to take what they have. They need to take all of the stuff that is on the cutting room floor and throw it back in. For each episode, they need to give us a season of television. Do a 6-part, 7-part, 8-part miniseries of that movie. But here's what they need to do. Bring the actors back in. Most of the actors are still young enough, they're still within the right framework, that they could absolutely shoot a few scenes here and there to add more continuity. And here's the thing. This is the reason why I think they should do it. Money. The people that love it, the people that love the story, 7, 8, and 9, they're going to watch it anyways. The people that are just, I don't care, whatever, just give me Star Wars, they're going to watch it anyways. The haters, the people that hate it, are going to watch it just so they can hate it more. And you know, arguably, they might have, they have their own opinions. So their opinions are their opinions. I'm not going to say that they're right or wrong. They're theirs. They are entitled to their opinion. If they hate it, that's their opinion, man. Go for it. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Right? But they're going to rewatch it. And rewatching means more subscriptions on Disney Plus. It means you take that old merch that didn't get sold, and all of a sudden you put it back on the shelf. Maybe you put it in a different box. Maybe you keep it in the same box, and it's vintage all of a sudden. And guess what? It probably sells again. The idea here is there's a lot of potential if you just build a better story. If you fill in the gaps, right? My biggest fear, my absolute biggest fear with the JJ Abrams cut has absolutely nothing to do with like the problems with Rey. It doesn't bother me that Rey is a Palpatine, because the way that I see it, Anakin is a Palpatine. Anakin is a creation of the Force because of something Plagueis and Sidious did. It is a reaction to their actions that Anakin was created, right? Anakin was created and eventually brings balance to the Force, right? What was Plagueis, what was Sidious doing at the time that Force created another Skywalker, essentially, right? Anakin was a Skywalker because Shmi was a Skywalker. Now, that's the whole concept of Skywalker is a thing for another video, but like, there's so much potential here, right? Are we looking at the offspring, the illegitimate children of Satine and Kenobi, right? Maybe the Force has a wicked sense of humor, and they say, hey, by the way, Sidious, you're playing with some midichlorians because your master did, and you know, I created Anakin because, you know, I'm the Force and I do that kind of stuff just to mess with you. You're playing with this little baby Grogu using his midichlorians. Maybe you've been teasing Snoke, and you've got all these weird Snoke clones lying around who have the Force, whatever. I'm gonna create Rey, and I'm gonna give him to the illegitimate child of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Duchess Satine, who maybe or maybe not be being raised by the Mandalorians, Death Watch and whatnot. There's a lot of potential there, guys, and I'm very excited. Now, that's what I want to see. My fear is I'm not going to see what I want to see. But whether I see what I want to see or not in an extended cut, in an extended version of the trilogy, I think they should do it for continuity's sake. Because there are some huge continuity errors in the sequel trilogy that need to be adjusted. And until they are adjusted, I think you're going to see a lot of upset fans. But if you do adjust it, you will bring those fans back in. Or at least, I think, a pretty big portion of them. But these are just my thoughts. This is why I think that a JJ Abrams cut of just one movie isn't enough. They would need a JJ Abrams cut of all the movies. Not all the movies. I don't want to see JJ touch, 1 through 6. But 7 through 9. He can play with those all he wants. That's my thought, guys. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Did you like the sequel trilogies? Did you hate the sequel trilogies? Or are you indifferent to the sequel trilogies? Let me know in the comments below. In the section below, you will find 4 links. 1 for Audible. You can sign up for 1 month, 2 free audiobooks of your choice for absolutely free. Quit within a month, you keep the books, but you help my channel. Go to the Going Nerdy swag store. You get some cool swag that looks pretty dapper. I gotta say, it's pretty freaking sweet. Most importantly, guys, while you're down there in the lower section of this video, go ahead and, flick that bell button and kind of play around with it. Then smash it. And be notified anytime I go live, anytime I post a new video. Let me know. Like, subscribe, share, guys. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, smile and stay nerdy.